we're going to do a practice using some of the visceral aspects of the 5 elements. The 5 elements can be interacted with in many different ways, as all energetic concepts can be. One of the ways to look at the 5 elements are the tissues that are affected or composed of by the 5 elements. In this case, starting with fire, we have blood and the blood vessels. With earth, we have muscles. With metal, we have skin. With water, we have bones. With wood, we have fascia. And of course, there are expressions in the senses with the 5 elements. With fire, we have the tongue and taste. With earth, we have feeling, sensation, touch, and the mouth, specifically like lips. With metal, we have the sense of smell and the nose. With water, we have the sense of hearing in the ears. With wood, we have the sense of sight in the eyes. These will be talked about again later. This practice is really good to be done while sitting with your eyes closed or laying in bed before you get out of bed in the morning or before you go to sleep at night. Working with the concept of yin, many people are yin deficient. People who, many of us, do not sleep enough, do not rest enough, and feel like we thrive in stress, in watching stressful shows and media, in spinning up our own emotions in stress relating to work, relationships, or even sense of self. And that can be useful. So it's just something that happens. It is what it is. Yin gets burned up in a constant state of stress. Yin is the softness, the receptiveness. Yin and yang are relative, so a receptiveness can be, a softness can be relative to a rock, but within your body, if you take a moment now to feel, if you just ask your mind to be aware, ask your consciousness to go to places of stress and tension, and just see if you can feel any of them. Again, if you have your eyes closed, you can ask your visual senses to say, what does that tension look like? Maybe you can see a color relating to it, or a visual texture, a grit, a hardness, a brightness. It can manifest in any number of ways that your body can speak to you when you give it permission to do so. So we're going to start with the most yin, because this is a practice of nourishing yin. So we're going to start with the most yin, the water. We're going to feel our bones, our kidneys, perhaps our feet, our bladders, our genitals, even. Any of these areas of our body that we can put our attention into and suggest to receive the yin aspect of water. So again, one of the ways we can envision that is a soft rain, or the depth of a lake, or the ocean, the still part of the water, the deep part, the dark part of the water. In a cosmic sense, it is the space between stars, the empty darkness of space. And when bringing our attention to this aspect of water, it's also cool. We, with our eyes closed, generally this is easier, look through our body at any place that needs that. Ask all places in our body to be receptive to that, but specifically the ears, the bottoms of the feet, the bones. If it's useful, you can imagine the bones are antennas receiving this. Now again, you don't need to, or in this situation, we're not going to worry about overbalancing. We're going to let ourselves soak in the yin. So as much softness, coolness, darkness, spaciousness, openness you can bring into the bones, into the ears, again, that can enter your body through the resonance of your bones or through the bottom of your feet or through your ears. Again, listening to the sound field and tuning into the silence behind the sounds and receiving the silence into all of the tissues. Color related to this is dark, dark, dark blue or black. So again, as you look through the tissues or the energetic body, anything that needs darkness, let it be soaked in darkness. This can be done infinitely. It can be done for 20 seconds or 20 minutes or 20 hours, whatever. So water nourishes wood, the liver, the fascia, the eyes. Wood also finds its terminations in the feet, the toes. So even with your eyes closed, you can look into the softness of wood. It may help you to imagine a forest or a prairie or a beautiful green lawn or a garden, one specific large tree or beautiful flower. Maybe even picture it slowly, softly moving in the breeze, the suppleness of wood. Perhaps shades of green that are useful to your eyes. And let that softness, the yin wood, enter the body. Even with the eyes closed, enter through the eyes. And again, when you think of this, what tension speaks to you in your body? We're simultaneously gently working with the imagination, suggesting these elemental aspects, and with the perception, the visceral perception of the body. What are we feeling? Relating to areas we know to be elemental and what the actual experience we're having right now, as of course the entire body, the entire energy field is composed of different densities of these elemental mixtures. So you could feel the wood and the fascia of your fingers all along your spine, not in the bones, not in the muscles, but between them, the fascia. Look into the liver. Let it receive all of the soft wood energy that it can use. Again, you can use the genitals for this. You can use the eyes, the toes. And again, there's part of the visceral experience of receiving yin is relaxing. But it can be seen from any angle that your consciousness can perceive it, because I just felt in the relaxing, my spine was able to expand and I was able to sit up straighter. It's a very different experience to do this laying in bed, which I just did, to now sitting. Anyway, going through all of the tissues that would like to be soaked and bathed in wood yin, and letting them just receive from any source right next to you, the air particles vibrating next to you, or the chi vibrating between the physical particles of your body. But again, anything you can picture in your imagination, a place you've been or a place you can imagine. The redwood forest, a childhood experience on a lawn, a national park, a city park, any of the experiences you've had through your life or your imagination that you can tune into and receive this beautiful, soft, green energy and all of the tissues and energetic aspects that can use them. I'm Yang Wood, my day master, so I kind of soak into that a lot. So moving on. Wood nourishes fire. Thinking of the yin aspect of fire is kind of strange, because almost everything about fire is yang. In the old system of yin and yang, it was Kan and Li, water and fire. But still there is a yin fire. So you can feel your tongue and perhaps just notice whatever your tongue is tasting. Notice what the textures of your tongue feel like. As much as you are able to, just notice what your heart feels like, what your pulse feels like in your veins. Seeing if you can get subtle enough to feel the aspect of heat. If you can feel the temperature in you and around you. If you can imagine the network of blood vessels. Imagine you can perceive the movement of blood. Thinking of fire, work with the idea of light or heat Perhaps picture a beautiful orange light, perhaps at a sunset. Let the blood vessels, the heart, aspect of the belly, the triple burner, the covering around the heart, the pericardium, the small intestine, the fire meridians end and begin in the fingers, so you can feel the hands. Even in the stillness, feel the potential of movement in the fingers. And receive the stillness around all of the throbbing of the blood vessels, the beating of the heart. Receive the softness of that constant movement. Feel that warmth and simultaneously work with a little bit of cooling and the gentle openness that can happen when you feel warmth. The ability to open into warm gently. Again, your blood vessels, you can picture all the way down to capillaries in every aspect of all of your organs, all of your tissues. You can think of the movement in all the cells, this constant movement. And just let it soften, relax. Let it receive any of the ambient energy. Somebody once told me that you're getting more radiation from the sun, even when it's on the other side of the planet, than you are from your cell phone. Because the quarks or photons or some aspect of the radiation can pass through your house, the earth, everything. Not letting your mind combat that right now, just use that idea to imagine that all of the energy that is required to make movement happen, imagine you can just receive it from whatever source, whatever star, however long it takes to get to you. Let it softly be received by the blood, the tongue, the heart, small intestine. Again, if the colors of any kind of red spectrum colors feel nourishing, you can wash the tissues, the space you take up, the aura around you with this red, soft openness. And fire nourishes earth, tuning the colors to yellow, feeling the lips, the muscles, all throughout the body. Again, you can picture big muscles like your thighs, your biceps, your glutes, your pecs. But there's seemingly infinite little muscles connecting each of the spines and each of the fingers, all the muscles in your face. Often when I think of muscles, picture meat or redness, but let's give them a gentle yellowness. Feel the lips and come to softness. The organs, the spleen underneath the left rib cage, the pancreas, very close to the diaphragm, center of your body, and the stomach, the organ itself. Notice any sensations of touching you're having right now. And bring a softness. Earth has a lot to do with balance, with trust, being able to relax into groundedness and open. Again, the meridians terminate in the toes. So even if you're laying down, you can bring this sensation of being firmly grounded and balanced into any muscles that may need it. Muscles are very great to work with for tension, of course, because if you calm down and slow down and go inside and feel your muscles, you will find some tension. We need tension in order to move, to stand up. Much like we need yang. Right now we're receiving yin. So as much as you're able, go through, suggest to your consciousness that it can feel any areas that need yin in the earth element, from gross matter to minutia and etheric energy, even in the earth element. Whatever soft golden, yellow, mustard, fading into brown colors, feel nourishing and useful. The entire muscular system, the entire sense of touch. Again, this energy can pour into you through the lips, through the mouth, through etherics, through your feet. When you're doing this practice, of course, you can move if you feel called to move. That is often required when you're balancing. Soften, 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 and then your body responds naturally with yang movement. And moving on. Earth nourishes metal. Color is white. Lungs, large intestine. Nose, smell. Take a moment to smell the smellscape around you. Take a moment to feel the breath pulling energy or particles, even spaciousness, in through your nose and all the way into the tips of the alveoli of your lungs. All those little pockets that fill up with air every time you inhale. Just see if you can give yourself the conscious experience of feeling the breath coming in through the nose and filling the lungs. See if you can give yourself the experience of feeling all of the air interacting with your skin. Though your skin often looks solid, it is filled with pores, and just as your nose breathes, your skin breathes. So use this opportunity to imagine your skin breathing, and any areas that feel hot or tight, let them dissipate into the air. Yin, relax. Notice any sensations of coolness or heat, any sensations of the touch of the air around the skin, any sensations of the skin itself, the wei qi, the outside energy field dissipating into the air, opening. You're safe here. Give yourself permission to be safe. Open the armor. Receive the yin all the way into the lungs. Again, because the large intestine ends in the anus, I often will use the anus as the opposite orifice of the nose, which is very important for yin, right? So regardless of if you're sitting or laying, put a little of tension into your anus. Imagine you can breathe energy through it. Relax it. Let the entire colon relax, the large intestine. Receive all of the yin metal. See if you can let all the lungs relax. Receive all of the yin metal. A nice whiteness or metallic silveriness, or goldness or copperness, whichever metal seems attractive to you right now. And this begins to open my sinuses, the eustachian tubes connecting the mouth, where the air is moving in and out through the mouth, how it connects inside the head to the nose and the ears, and the face, the bones. There are air pockets all over the body. There's spaciousness to be found anywhere. Softness. What is yin metal? Some fine filigree of jewelry, veins of gold in the earth. All of the particles of mineral interacting with the body. So again, anywhere you can go in your body that is, your body is sending you signals of, oh, this is tense, this is tight. Let it open and receive this energy. That was the fifth element of these five elements. Doing them in this order. You can start in any element. I started with water this morning. And there is a practice called testicular breathing that can be done if you're a woman with your ovaries, ovary breathing. One of the practices I read in a book years ago and have done for a long time is if you're male, they say that you are naturally more yang, and that part of the function of sexual union is to discharge your excess yang and receive the yin from the woman. But if you're not interacting in that way, or say you're a homosexual, then you can use your gonads to connect with the yin from the earth and just breathe it in, either through the penis or the testicles. So again, if you're a woman, you can breathe it in through the vagina and the ovaries. Women generally in this case would need more yang, but everyone is a specific case. And in this specific practice, we're working with nourishing yin because we can be so excess yang. So if you can feel your testicles, this is really how I started this morning when I was thinking like, oh, I need some yin before I open my eyes. And I started going through some tissues, but when I got to my testicles, I was like, oh yes, I can connect with the yin of the earth, the yin of the ocean, and pull in. And when the gonads are not engaged in sexual energy, when they're not turned on in a sexual way, they are much more water. And so it's very easy to use them, and they're very powerful. They're very intricate, so you can just pull energy in. And it felt very powerful for me this morning. And again, breathing, testicular breathing. You breathe from the testicles into the kidneys. So you could do that with the ovaries as well. Breathe from the ovaries into the kidneys. And when you're doing this practice, you can be completely still. Again, if you're in bed or you're sitting, or you can use your hands. One of the things I always like to say is the idea of a magic wand, right, is an apparatus that you can direct energy through. And wonderfully, our body is that. One aspect of our being is our body is our magic wand. It is this incredibly intricate system that can direct energy, and like picking up a knife or harnessing energy with our hands and the subtle energies moving it. So you can just use your mind to move these things around, and you can also use your hands either etherically, like move your hands around your system, moving energy, or you can touch yourself on that gross level. If you need to move that level of energy, that's fine. So you can go through these cycles from water into wood, into fire, into earth, into metal, into water, etc. And just keep going through the system. And of course, as you're feeling the body, it can come in any order. If you're feeling like, oh, I feel more in my feet now, and then, oh no, I think that's the fascia, I need to soften the fascia. So it can go really quickly, and then, oh, I can feel the blood in there, and I can feel the muscles around it now. Okay. And again, this could all be done in a minute, or it can be done in an hour, or it can be done all day. You can do it in the space between movement as you're going about your day. Anytime you have a chance to just check in and be like, oh, can I receive some yin? Where is there tension? Do I have tension in my forehead? Do I have tension in my jaw? Is there tension in my shoulders? Receive some yin. And it's nice to balance it with yang, but again, we're also over-yanged all the time, that overstimulated, overstressed, that you don't need to necessarily bring it in, but you're welcome to picture yang energies in these same elements. And I won't guide you through that now, but I will guide you through quickly the virtuous energies of each element. So if we say start with the heart, which is a good place to say this is like an inner smile thing. So you can take a second and just put a smile on your face, put a smile on your heart. Think of a kindness, a happiness, a gratitude Good place to start with the heart. Again, you can picture the blood moving, you can picture the tongue, the red, the heart, the small intestine, and feel this happiness, this gratitude. You can use phrases, affirmations if you need to. I'm grateful for my life. I love you. I am loved. And let that flow through the blood. Let that flow through the tissues. Let that flow through the heat. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I am love. I resonate with love. I resonate with happiness. And notice what that feels like as it goes through the system. And then move into the earth, spleen, pancreas, stomach, muscles, lips. The virtuous aspects of the earth are, I trust. Everything's going to be okay. I'm safe, confident, I'm grounded. Everything's okay. I have enough. Everything's okay. As much as you can feel that through the system, the muscles, the lips, and the organs, everything's okay. Everything will be okay. Everything is okay. I trust everything is okay. One of my favorite phrases is from the Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. Undoubtedly, the universe is unfolding as it should. And earth nourishes metal. You can picture the skin, feel the skin, the lungs, the large intestine. Again, this idea of integrity, alignment with what is good and what is right, courage and bravery to do what needs to be done. So there's a capability, a sense of integrity. There's an integrity in the physical being that it can do what needs to be done, and integrity in the spirit that it can do what needs to be done. You can think of your psyche in that way, your drive. All is good, all is right, all is well. That can stand easier on everything is okay, and everything is okay can stand easier on I am grateful and I'm happy. Right? See how these build each other up. I'm grateful, I'm happy, everything is okay. I am in alignment with what is good. I can do what needs to be done. And from this state of healthy metal nourishes water. Again, you can feel kidneys, bladder, bones. Feel the stillness. Listen to the silence. Coolness. Peace. Know that peace is always available to you, and let yourself be at peace. And know that from your inner peace, things can be known clearly with wisdom. Just let that energy bathe you, nourish the system. And water nourishes wood, so go into the eyes, into the liver, the gallbladder, the fascia, green. With this peace, it is easier to be kind. With this wisdom, it is easier to be compassionate. With this nourishing, it is easier to grow and bear fruit, be abundant and generous, be creative. Make what you need to give where it is needed. Kindness, compassion, creativity, generosity. Green. And wood nourishes fire. just movement, love, joy, happiness. You can do all this before you open your eyes in the morning, before you go to sleep at night, or any time that you have time to do so. I love you. I'm glad you're here. I want you to be well.